Hi, I'm Coach Frank Dolan of All for Sports and Fitness and myvirtualfitnesscamp.com. This is soft tissue work and mobility. When we talk about mobility, most people think of flexibility, but what we're actually talking about is not just the length of muscle tissue, but also just the range of motion in the joints of the body. So here are the factors that can affect someone's mobility. Basically, our fascial system is the system of muscles together. Most people think of each individual muscle working in and of itself, which is actually couldn't be further from the truth. All muscles work together simultaneously to create functional movement, and actually the fascia is not only just a kind of encasement around the muscles, but it actually goes in between muscles, and there's a lot of research now that actually shows that the fascia has higher levels of proprioception for functional movement than actual muscle tissue. So although the muscles are our drivers, the fascia has a big role in our functional movement patterns. So if the fascia has trigger points or denser areas or any kind of scar tissue from old injuries, it's definitely going to affect our mobility and in turn affect our functional movement. So the way we try to look at it is from a standpoint of tissue quality. If I have a rubber band and I tie a knot in that rubber band and I try to pull each side of the rubber band to stretch it, what I'm actually doing is tightening the knot. So that's kind of a way to think of trigger points and areas of denseness in tissue. You're actually sometimes, if you're stretching without working on tissue quality first, you're making things a lot harder for yourself and actually making things tighter. So a couple of different people I'd like to mention. One is Ida Rolf. We're going to be using in our fitness boot camp a lot of the corrective rolling techniques from based on some of her research. She's in manual therapy, and although we don't do any kind of massage therapy in boot camp, some of the techniques in the rolling is going to come out from a lot of her research and what she's done. We'll use a foam roller for that, also a roller stick, and it's almost like, and you can see the picture here, it's like kneading dough or baking cookies using a roller stick. You're basically just going to enhance that tissue quality by putting pressure on the roller, and you can watch in the exercise video library the foam rolling routine. The next step would be our stretching, and we typically don't hold stretches for long periods of time. We do what's called the active isolated stretch method, which is the Mattis method, and that is basically just to increase tissue length. So after a good rolling session, we can work on increasing that tissue length in certain areas that we need to lengthen. Then the third area is our mobilization of joints. Sometimes it's not just muscle tissue that's tight or the fascia that's being affected, but sometimes just the joint might not have good range of motion, and we can use some of the mobilization techniques from one of the researchers and practitioners, Shirley Sarman. A lot of our movement patterns that we use in our warm-ups are based on her research and some of her methods. So thanks for watching the mobility webinar. Stay tuned for the next webinar, which is core stability and core strength.